What is up, guys? So no intro, no BS. This is one of the dumbest cards I have ever seen. Now, before we get into it, let's just take a minute to appreciate this artwork. So we already see the Shogun and the Shadow 6 Samurai Shien duking it out with Grandmaster and Anishi just sitting in the background. We see Hand of the Six Samurai right there, just ducking in the background. And yeah, it looks pretty crazy. And it's furthering the story of the Six Samurai and the whole crazy complications that they have. But that is nothing compared to how stupid or how crazy this card is. So, struggling battle coming from the new set Circuit Break, which I don't even think has come out in Japan yet. It's going to be the next main set after Code of the Duelist. And so it's a normal trap card, and what it does is if you control no cards, you can activate this card from your hand. So it is a literal hand trap. Well, you control no cards during either player's turn, you just activate it from your hand. So during first turn, you can activate like a spell card. During your opponent's turn, you can activate it like a hand trap. So if your opponent controls more cards than you do at the end of the battle phase, make your opponent banish cards face down. They control face down until they control the same number of cards you do. Now, think about it. Okay. So if you control no cards, you can activate this card from your hand. So automatically, if you're playing something like Cyframes or something that runs a lot of hand traps, because I know Japan is going crazy with the hand trap game right now. I mean, look at any Japanese deck list and tell me if you don't see a Joyous Ash or a Ghost Ogre or a Winter Cherries. Like, all the all the Japanese deck profiles I've seen so far at least use one of those three. So if your opponent controls more cards than you do, so if you're going second, all right, your opponent sets down one or two cards, right? Your turn. You open this card. You activate it as soon as you want, because you control no cards. You can activate draw phase, standby phase, main phase 1. You just activate it. So as long as you don't mind keeping your field open for main phase 1, when you go into battle phase and then you end the battle phase, you keep no cards in your side of the field. They have to banish face down every single card they control. You see, now the thing about this card, it doesn't have a minimum of cards that you have to control. It doesn't say minimum 1, minimum 2. You know, that would have been understandable. But for some reason, they just made it so generic and so broken that it's just like, okay, if I control no cards, well, you're just gonna have to banish every card you control face down. And especially with the fact that it says end of the battle phase, there's definitely going to be some ruling debates on timing with how this resolves at the end of the battle phase. Like, who gets to choose the timing that it resolves in? Like, does it, like if I'm playing Gladiator Beast and my opponent activates this card, like, does this card go first? Does the turn player get to choose, or does the opponent get to choose? Because if the turn player gets to choose, and let's say it's let's say that, okay, so I'm playing Gladiator Beast. My opponent has a clear field, so I just attack them directly twice, and then since they activated this card earlier this turn, they resolve at the end of the battle phase. But it's like I have effects to activate at the end of the battle phase too. So is it going to be a thing where they get to decide when it resolves at the end of the battle phase, or do I get to send back all my Gladiator Beasts first, since I'm the turn player? And I should have player priority since it's my turn, or turn priority. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it's called. But yeah, there's definitely going to be some crazy ruling debates with this. And I think this is just a crazy 3-of. It's like, think about it. It's like going, like, even just going first. It's like, and then like going second. It's like, you pretty much skip your battle phase to get rid of your opponent's entire board. And I just think this is just absolutely crazy. I don't know what Konami was thinking when they made this card, but this card seems pretty ban-worthy. already, in my opinion, and we haven't even seen gameplay of it yet. We haven't seen it used yet. I mean, it's nice that they give it a nice artwork and everything. You know what? I really hope they don't make this card a secret rare. Because if they make this card a common, Konami will realize exactly how bad of a mistake they made when making this card. This is way too broken to exist, man. I'm sorry. It really is. It's just so free. And it's the fact you can activate it from your hand when you control no cards. If it didn't have that part, I think this card would be mediocre. Like maybe a 1 or 2 at best. But because of the fact it is a literal hand trap while you control no cards, and you know, like, if it said no cards in the field or in the hand, then it would be understandable. But it just says no cards in general. I don't know what Konami was smoking when they made this card, man. But at least it has nice artwork. All right, you won't be losing to a silly looking card. It's I'm really at a loss for words with how dumb this card is, but yeah, I mean, I guess tell me what you guys think of it. I mean, honestly, I don't know why Konami would make this. Like, to be completely honest, I think this card shouldn't exist. I mean, you can like keep the artwork and put it on another card, but the card itself with the effect should not exist. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, this was Nistro here, signing out.